Welcome, everybody. This is the first meeting of the Iowa State Game Development Club.
Woo! Yeah! All right. So, first things first, I'm going to give an introduction of the exec team, and then we'll talk about what exactly this club does. So, first of all, my name is Jacob. I'm the president of Game Development Club. My favorite game is Banjo-Tooie on the N64. Anybody played it at least? Yes. Yeah, okay. Okay, all right. Do you need to know anything else about me? I'm a software engineer. I'm a junior. It's probably good enough. Cole?
Hey, I'm Cole. I'm the vice president. My favorite game.
I'll just say it's Honey Pop.
Thank you. I'm a sophomore, computer science major.
I'm going to stand up so people can see me. Hi, I'm Isabel. I'm the treasurer for this club, so if you have questions concerning dues, make sure to come to me, please. My favorite game is BioShock, and I'm a junior in marketing.
All right, I'm Veronica. I'm the secretary of the club. I'm a sophomore in psychology, and I'm willing to go where you come from. So if you're upset by that, deal with it.
All right.
Oh, favorite game, Final Fantasy VII. So. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, first things, well, second things, seconds. Jesus, I'm already off to a bad start. All right. So, here's the deal with us. We have general meetings right now in here. If you didn't know that, that's your first problem. Basically, we go over in these meetings game development in theory. So we will talk about like, hey, why is sound design really important in video games? And here's some great examples, and let's discuss this and get that going and whatnot. And all sorts of stuff like that. It's not a lecture. I want it to be two ways, and that needs to be clear. I'm not going to be up here just spewing trash at you and just expecting you to just take it. I mean, let's get some talking going. Let's get some back and forth. Good opportunity to network with peers. If you're looking at collaborating, if you're looking at making a group for a game, this is a great opportunity to, after the meeting, before the meeting, during the meeting, if you're not super loud, just talk with people and figure out who does what and basically get something started. It's also just a great time to be social and to be social with people with like-minded interests. So people that are interested in games, even specifically game development. Oh, wow. So that's basically these meetings. We also have workshops/workspaces over the weekend on Saturdays in Pearson 141 at noon. Basically, these are sort of tutorials where we will have one person leading it at the front, and they will basically go through, for instance, the basics of Unity, and you'll come with a computer installed with Unity. If you don't have a computer, we have the lab we'll be doing it in has like 8 computers or something, really souped up nice computers, but we don't have that many. So if you can, bring your own stuff. Gives you a good chance to just work alongside with the leader, keep up. We'll answer any questions you guys have, and then especially during workspace, aka when the workshop ends, because I can't prepare something that lasts 2 hours. That's a tutorial. That's fucking awful. So for the rest of the time, it's sort of a workspace. It's a chance to just get resources, talk to people, get help with your stuff. If you're trying to make a first-person game and you have no idea where to start, talk to somebody who's made one and get going. Here's the fun stuff. We also do game jams. Who here knows what a game jam is? All right. Lots of hands down. That's good. All right, we're going to learn today. So a game jam is basically over the course of 48 hours, you make a game from scratch. It's a lot of fun. It's crazy. It's a good chance to get shit done because, let's face it, you guys got projects, you guys got homework, tests. You don't really have time to work on games outside of, even playing games has higher priority over making games. Let's be real. So it's sort of a good opportunity to just take everything else, put it aside, and just, get shit done and make a game, have a product that you can show somebody. A lot of people work in groups. You can work individually. It's sort of up to you. Usually, game quality has something to do with people in your group, but you, by all means, you can do stuff individually if you want to. We also do prizes. We'll do votes for what we think is the best game in different categories and whatnot. We'll have prizes. We'll have posters, other artwork. We have Discord swag that I'm pretty sure we can do. And then it's also just a good platform to work off of. So if you make a game in a game jam and you think it's a great game and you'd like to continue it, but you think, frankly, it's kind of garbage, it's a good point to look at it and fix it later and work off of it. Actually, a surprising amount of games have stemmed from game jams. Does anybody here know Hollow Knight? Came out in February. It's a good fucking game. That came out of a game jam. That came out of, I think, a 48-hour game jam. So that was a good game. We also do social nights. First one's this Friday. Might be the first time a lot of you are hearing about this. Basically from 5:10 to 11 in Ellings, we're just going to be bringing a bunch of games, consoles, bring controllers, bring consoles, bring games, bring TVs. Basically, it's sort of we're on our own for equipment. But bring board games. Board games are a lot of fun. And it's just a time to sort of put away the serious aspects of this, put away the game development parts, and just get down and just have some fun. Actually take some time to enjoy some games, which doesn't really apply now because we haven't really started doing anything yet, but it'll be fun. Come anyways. Oh, yeah. You want this one? You want to talk?
Oh yeah, I can talk about stuff. Let's see what's going on.
All right.
Global Game Jam Extra Life, guys.
Yeah.
All right, some of the other events we do here. We have a Global Game Jam. That will be sometime this winter, I believe in February, after you guys get back. It's kind of a crappy time for some people, but I went there and it's a lot of fun. You are making games with people from all around the world and showing them off on a big site. And it's a lot of fun to see what other people make with the themes they have. I encourage all of you to go by and stay the whole time, stay a part of the time, do whatever you can, but I would definitely participate in this. We also have Extra Life. Do you know the date for that? November. Yeah, late November. That is a lot of fun as well. That is a charity live stream event we'll be hosting as part of the Extra Life event. We'll be doing something game related. Last year we tried to beat all the Metroid games to some success. You can either view it. I couldn't even beat the one. I said some success.
It was a pretty weak goal for how much he actually did.
Okay, we failed. If you guys would like to participate in Extra Life or just view and participate that way, that's totally fine.
So everybody here know what Extra Life, the organization,
Oh yeah,
is?
I should explain that.
It's a charity for kids with terminal illness, I believe. And basically, you just stream for like a full day, 24 hours. We'll see how long we can go. We did not go 24 hours last time. Shooting for 24 hours this time. But yeah, and then you just, instead of streaming with a donation to the streamer, it's the donation to the organization. So it's just it's a lot of fun. Yeah, sure, man. All right, here's the yucky part. Dues. I'll tell you this. You do not need to pay them to be a part of the club. It'd be nice if you did, because that means we can do more stuff, but you do not need to. So it's $10 for the entire year. $20. If you pay $20, you get the T-shirt with it. You can also just get the T-shirt $15 by itself if you just want to support the club, but also at the same time kind of hate us. What you get with dues is you get food at events like social nights. We'll do pizza. We're not doing it this Friday because I'm not really going to expect you guys to shell out money after this. And then also you need to pay dues to get the prizes at game jams. And you also get the satisfaction of helping an organization you support grow. That's the most important. And yeah, if you don't want to pay, it's not a big deal. You can still participate in everything. You just don't get food, and you don't get the prizes at game jams. So I guess if you're really bad at making games at game jams, and you're not going to win, that's a... And we'll all do great. It'll be a lot of fun. Last thing about us, we actually have not yet completely filled our chairs. We have chairs that sort of help the executive team figure some stuff out. We've already filled 3 of the 6, but we still need these 3. So if you want to be the outreach chair, basically in charge of dealing with like social media, talking to other clubs about collaborating, that kind of stuff. If you're interested in fundraising chair, which is reaching out to different organizations to try and get more sponsors, more game jam prizes, more money. And then also if you want to be the creative chair, so basically responsible for sort of herding the creative crowd in the club and giving them a good resource to get creative insight on stuff and organize some club collaboration. Yeah. I already said that. Okay. Yeah, like we did a collaboration with the sketch club last year where we went and learned how to sketch a bunch of how to come up with character designs for video games and stuff. It was a lot of fun. So if you're interested in any of those, come talk to me afterwards. Yeah? All right, fun stuff. Who here knows what that is?
Is that the powerhouse of the South?
No. It looks like it. This is what's called the Fuzzy Pickles Challenge. So, yes. I wish I did that art. It is beautiful. So here's the deal. Basically, we're going to do a big icebreaker social thing. Yeah, I know. You all totally wanted to hear that. Bunch of gamers. So we're going to count off 8 at a time.
Yep.
And we're going to want you to get in those groups, and we are going to give you a topic, a 1 to 2 word, something like that, topic, and we want you to make a game idea from scratch, somehow relating to that topic. Obscure, just directly based on it, whatever. So, yeah, we're going to get started with that. So, do you guys want to do it?
Sure.
Okay. 1, 2, you're going to have to say yourself. I'm not doing this.
3, 4, 5.
6, 7, 8, 1.
All right.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3,
4.
5, 6, 7,
3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 1.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 4.
4. There it is. Okay, so,
Try and do like. All right.
this is figured out. It's chaos.
It's fine.
I'm not gonna try and herd people. I'm just go, just do it.
You should come up with all 6 of these. Probably easiest to start top left, move down. Part real easy to start with genre and then figure out. So here is the topic. He beats Jake. Pretty good idea. we've best seen progress. Yes. Going backwards. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Yes. And that's it. We'll have to present this at the end. I want it to come up. You gotta tell me. Like a game where it's very simple. You play through a level. You die. Every time you die, you go back and fix the reason that you died. Then you're making progression.
So,
Start off like all friendly and like right now.
We need to think about gaming. Like we need to just think of a premise for games that makes sense. Okay.
if I can interrupt for a second.
Yeah.
5 words or less. What's it about so far?
Losing your powers, or going along with the mythology route.
Not 5 words.
That's more than 5 words.
Doesn't count as almost 5. 5 words.
Fall from grace, mythology inspired.
That's good.
Seems cool.
Right.
I'll look forward to it.
Hey. Yep.
You guys have a team name yet?
Oh, wait, that's on the book?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Neil, you're such a joke.
But really though, 5 words or less, what are you guys doing so far?
Oh, I'm the talker now. Yay. Hello. So we decided, well, we already did those.
Oh, you that is not 5 words. Yeah. They use up to 5 words.
5 words. We have this. I talked to us.
Most basic features all in a string.
Yeah. So, you play as people that are telling the story of how they beat a boss. Oh my goodness.
Tell story how beat boss.
Alright.
Tell a story how beat boss?
Backwards story, how beat.
Telling the story backwards, getting the worst person in the team.
Show most
Do you ask-
improvement backwards boss.
Yes. Most improved backwards story.
I did say or less, I guess.
Everyone finishes each boss at the same time. Well, you want to be the worst.
I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you. 5 words or less. What's your game about so far?
Regression. Our game is about starting with all of your power-ups and then losing them as the game continues until you
I
are.
lost count.
Oh.
5 words or less.
5 words or less?
5 words or less.
I didn't hear that. Okay.
Progressively lose your items. Progressively lose abilities to your items.
That works.
Yeah?
He's just like progressively lose all your items. That's exactly how it is.
So weird. Progressively.
Sounds cool.
Progressive regression.
Alright.
What is the genre?
Sounds cool so far. 5 words or less. Anybody?
An epic alien apocalypse. I don't know. It's just like a Mac exclusive.
Alien zombie apocalypse like mystery.
5 minutes left.
Shooter.
Yeah.
What's your game about so far?
Time travel, murder, gangsters, black and white. Right? It's hyphen. Close enough.
Close enough. All right, I like it.
Mechanics.
What's your game about? Like, I'm really afraid to ask, though.
Well, you could use 6 of them, but you have to cut one. Maybe art style. We don't need art style.
5 words or less of what our game is about. Crazy dude thinks he's a knight.
Crazy what?
Crazy dude thinks he's a knight. That's 6. It's true.
That is 6.
Does odd count?
Does the what?
Crazy dude is
There you
No.
go. Dude thinks he's a knight.
Dude thinks he's a
Mine
knight.
is the crazy, that's 5.
Yeah, there we go. That's a surprise. We don't want to spoil our game immediately. Come on.
Nice. All right. But 5 words or less.
It's literally the best game.
It's literally the best. Oh. Okay. I suppose that works.
RPG where you go back in time. To change it. Yeah, you change an event that could have been prevented.
I think that's a little too much, but I'll let it pass.
Never happened. Because everything was always everywhere. Never mind.
Keep going.
Time traveling cyborg.
It works. It's less, but it works.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah? Yeah?
Pretty excited about it.
I'm excited about it.
As an overpowered cyborg, but then as you keep going back through time, like you start like getting weaker as like you're running low on power, or if you don't have like as enough power as you did before.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is.
All right, everybody, shut up. Shut up. Okay. So, who wants to go first?
You do.
All right. Shit. No. All right, who's speaker? All right, you get the mic, man.
So I've never used one of these.
Just kind of hold in front of you, attach it to your shirt.
Hey, is this working?
Yeah.
you're good.
Okay, just making sure I'm not hurting people's ears. So our group came up with the idea for, it's the genre. It's a shooter, like a first-person shooter. You're in New York after the zombie apocalypse, and you have to discover what happened. So it's an action game, and it's like a mystery game. You're piecing all these clues together that you're finding in places. And the twist is eventually you're gonna find out that it was aliens. So you need to, but it's not really a twist. It's not really a twist because the title of the game is Alien Apocalypse, and yet it doesn't, like, they don't come in until. So it's all about discovery. So yeah, that's it. Oh yeah. Borderlands kind of art style,
By the way, you can go as in-depth as you want, so if you wanted to...
No, I just wanted to. I just forgot to mention the art style. That's sort of.
Cool. Who's going next? One number. All right. Fight. Go. Who wants it more?
You
Between you two.
Do you want to fight me? Do you want to fight me?
Okay, yeah, you're closer. This works.
Definitely while you're wearing that shirt, like.
Yeah, it's great. So what we came up with was a murder mystery slash. All right, puzzle survival. We decided to have it on. We were going to do it mainly for PC with a third-person type of view. We were going to have it set in the 20s in, I would say, Boston, as a mafia type of styled game where you start out in like a speakeasy or whatever with your gang, and it gets shot up. And as you take out one of the guys, he has a tattoo or some kind of symbol that you have to figure out what it is. So you actually have to go back in time to to figure out how this symbol is connected to the shooting that your gang has came upon. We decided more on a 3D film noir, yes, type of art style. And the objective is to figure out what happened and why. So.
You had me at time travel.
Yep.
That's when I got hooked.
Yeah, and so some of the mechanics we like if you go into a house, as everything's kind of going backwards, you have to hide from people that are moving backwards. If that's how we decided, I'm not sure, but I think that's what we came up with. So, because I thought that was cool, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That is cool. That's cool. Thank you.
Alright, so, I assume a lot of people here are familiar with Metroid, or specifically Super Metroid. So, our idea was based around, instead of exploring the world and finding things that make you stronger, instead you start fully powered and you have to put all of your upgrades and equipment back. At the beginning of our medieval fantasy style game, it's a third person. Instead of guns and lasers, you have swords. And first thing you do is you kick the ass of a goblin so hard that it flies off into space like Team Rocket. And then you go through the game, and as you beat bosses to progress to the next area, you have to put a particular item back in, making yourself less powerful, but allowing you to continue through the game. And eventually, the end game of this is that the final boss is the same goblin, but he has your shit now. He is not happy with you. We decided on a realistic art style. The mechanic obviously being that as the game goes on, you have to rely more on your ability to play and less on the completely overpowered things you started the game with. And that's basically all we have.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, who's next? All right, well, back there.
Right. Before any more of our ideas are set by every single group here, our game is a PC platformer called Chronoboard, and it stars a time-traveling cyborg named John. And John is, he starts in the post-apocalyptic world, and he is realized that the world is going to end, and he has to go back in time to stop it from ending. But he doesn't know how far back, so he starts going era to era, going back in time, and you fight different types of people as you go back. And at the beginning of the game, you can pick up weapons from people. You'll have really strong weapons just from picking them up from people at the beginning of the game. And as you go on and start facing like cavemen and stuff, you get weaker and weaker weapons. And also, as you go on, every time you try and travel, you run out of, or you lose a little bit of your power, so you lose some of your abilities, and it becomes harder for you to play. So you have to rely more on your skill as you go on. And then towards the end, once you get past the caveman and realize that it's still further on before that, you find out that the aliens are really behind it. And the aliens are the final boss, and you have to stop them from setting up the destruction of the world in post-apocalyptic future. I promise this was all original.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, sit down and buckle your pants because you're about to go for the ride of your life. All right, so basically, the game we created is JRPG for the Nintendo 64. Regressing. Basically, you start off killing the final boss. Now, you start going back in time, kind of a technomancy world. As you start to level up, I guess, you have to choose skill points that you want to get rid of. So it gets progressively harder and harder as you lose skill points. However, you keep meeting friends that have passed away from the end of the game. So you may lose points, but you gain companions. Eventually, you get to the boss that you already fought, and you have basically the entire premise is you went back in time to stop something that happened. You reach the final boss, and you decide whether or not you can defeat him and get the alternate timeline, or leave everything the way it was and let it happen how it was meant to happen.
On the timeline.
On the N64, on the Nintendo 64, exclusive.
Like 7 parts.
Yes.
Cartridges.
Yeah, actually.
You gotta make sure you blow really hard in the cartridge.
You need to keep swapping them out.
There's like 16. Swap to cartridge 8. Where's 8? Where's 8?
And they're not in order, they're actually.
It's like a choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure.
Depending on what you do, you're just swapping.
Cool, yay, I get talking privileges. Hello. Thanks for being here. So, also, our game sounds really similar to everyone else's. Why does this happen? Oh no.
It's a recurring, it's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. We are all compatible here. We all think the same.
Might be regressive.
That's true. So our game is set in Fantasy World, and it is about, it's a console game, so like party games, like 4 or 5 people maybe. Don't know how many consoles we have right now. And it revolves around this group of players who are telling the story of how they defeated a boss in a dungeon. And they start with telling about how they're in the boss room, and how like all this stuff is happening, and then someone interrupts their story and is like, but how did you get there? And so progressively their story is going backwards, but as it's going backwards, each player is trying to be the worst player in the group so they show the most growth at the end.
Oh my God, yes.
But you still have to like make decisions that allowed you to have beaten the boss at the end. So you can't be that player who like the stage right before the big boss who had the steak, because that doesn't make sense. So it's all about decision making, and each of you are trying to show up the other person as being the worst. And along with it being you're progressively like becoming worse, also the images in the game, the art style progressively gets worse. So you start like uber realistic, great art style, and you end with 8-bit. And the final credits are Pong.
All right, who was left? One group? Was it?
Where you like can't
Two.
die because you're telling the story right now. It's like, then I died. Wait, no. Alright, there goes nothing.
I got 20 minutes, just let's try. Alright, so our game is a 2D platformer. Mechanics, we decided that you would originally start out with certain like items and abilities, and you could find more as you went along, but you would mainly have to progress through trading those to NPCs. But the real interesting part of our game is in like the aesthetic and themes of the whole thing. So when it starts out, you're a medieval knight, and you're fighting off a horde of enemies. And it's a real like cutesy storybook type of aesthetic, but then every time you get hit, you get a flash of another scene. It's a dude fighting off a bunch of police in the real world. And then when the game gets started proper, you're just locked in a room somewhere with this town under siege, and you have to go out and stop all the enemies and get out yourself. So you go and do that, you go and play the hero, but every time you get hit again, you get scenes of another world. And this one is a lunatic asylum. So basically, you go along thinking you're the hero and all that, and at the end of the game, it just gets ripped away when the delusion is completely revealed, and your guy just kind of gives up and goes back. Alright, okay.
It's depressing as hell.
Regression, not repression. You guys left?
Yeah. Okay, so we decided on a fantasy adventure kind of RPG, and what we decided on story-wise is that you start out as like this kind of mythological god that hates humans and kills them on the regular, just can't stand them. And then you kind of fall from grace, and now you're on their turf. And over time, the kind of like power slots that you have decreases. So now you have to be a little more choosy of what you can use, and maybe your spells become weaker over time. And so very mythology, kind of Greek mythology inspired. We wanted to kind of bring those elements into it visually. If you guys are familiar with Bastion or Transistor, kind of that, like that painterly style. And yep, so they're slowly losing their power over time. And here's a good one. At the end, this god who hated humans, final boss, he gets killed by a human.
Oh, spoilers.
Yep.
I haven't even heard of this game yet, you've already
But
spoiled
yes.
it.
Yeah, that's what we got. Oh, wait.
Oh,
One
I was
last
just kidding.
part, because this title was suggested by one of our lovely members, Trail Away from Elysium.
Boy.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm the one who got it.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know about you guys, but I would buy every single one of these games. Probably for varying prices, but I still would. These are all really cool, and I don't think have been done before for the most part. So, yeah. Next week we'll be going over some brainstorming process. So expect not quite this, but sort of this idea. And last thing, just before I forgot. Beautiful. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe not another thing. Okay. Reminder, social night is this Friday, 5:10 to 11 p.m. We will be sending out an email with this info, so you don't have to take a picture of this, or do. I'm not your dad. Bring consoles, bring games, bring controllers, board games, video games, all sorts. We're basically just going to be having a big chill session, just having a lot of fun.
If anyone has a PS2, that'd be great. I just bought a PS2 game with no PS2, so.
Money well spent.
Yeah, I had to. It was my favorite game when I was a kid. Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah, I'm bringing an N64 with like all my games. So, yeah, bring TVs, please.
I have a 50-inch.
Please bring TVs. All right. So, go forth, make games, be awesome. Thanks, guys.